Hey everyone, welcome to a reselling vlog. So in today's video, I have a lot of stuff to share with you. We have some shopping footage. We're gonna go shopping at Goodwill and Value Village. I happened to get a bag full of stuff. I was out running errands, decided to pop into those two stores, and was pleasantly surprised because I actually got some stuff, which is so rare, I feel like. Usually I'm leaving empty-handed. So I go a lot. I know you guys probably think that I'm scoring all the time, but I'm only showing you the times when I score. I'm not showing you the times where that bag is literally empty. Then after we go shopping, I'm gonna come back here. We're gonna talk about what sold in my Etsy shop. I have a few more things that I've picked up recently that I have not shown you guys. So you might be interested in those. Then we're gonna talk about this piece of art. So you guys may remember I got this on my thrifting trip with my friends, and I knew nothing about it when I showed it to you. I didn't know where this was. I didn't know who painted it. I mean, I saw the signature, but I hadn't looked it up yet. And so thankfully, Sherry emailed me, one of you guys, and told me all the details I needed in order to do a little bit more research. And so very thankful. Thank you, Sherry, for doing that. And now I gotta figure out how much it's worth. So we'll talk about that too when we talk about this piece. And then the final thing I'm gonna share with you is, you guys may remember I picked up a nude painting recently, and I asked your opinions if I should hang it in my house or not. And you guys were overwhelmingly saying, yes, do it. And so I decided to hang it in my home. And so it's in the gallery wall in my entryway, and I thought you guys might like to see that gallery wall. So I'm gonna show you that too. Okay, so let's head to the shopping footage, and then we're gonna come back here for all the rest of the stuff. Good evening, everybody. So I decided to do a little thrifting. I was on my way home, and I thought, you know what? I haven't been to the thrift store in a couple days. I probably should pop in and see what they have. So I'm gonna stop at Value Village, and then I'm gonna head to Goodwill, and then I'll be home. I love these Italian Mary sculptures. Yep, Italy. They're just so pretty. I'm definitely gonna have to get this. How much was it? Yeah, $4.49. This is for sure coming home. So this may be the cutest little thing I have seen in Value Village in a long time. Look at that face, that expression. I have no idea what it's meant to be. Obviously there's something missing there, so I gotta look it up, but this is adorable. So it's kind of a bummer that they separated all of these. These are chess pieces, so you kind of have no idea if there's a complete set or not. And also, they are pricey per bag, but man, this would have been a stunning set. If this was a few years ago, I would have been so excited to find this macrame. But boho, especially macrame stuff, unless it's like something that's actually like mid-century designer made, is not really selling anymore, at least out here. But this would have been a really cool find. This is a very pretty and substantial glass vase. $14.99 seems like a lot. I'm gonna somehow peel that sticker off to see if it's artist signed at all, but the swirls on that are really beautiful. So it is artist signed, and I gotta figure out what that even says, but it's dated 99, so it actually is like an artist made piece, not something that was manufactured. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try to do a little research while I'm here. Here's some really pretty Mexican. Yeah, it looks like Mexican pottery. It looks like it's in good shape, although I'd have to check underneath the plastic to see if there's any chips or anything. This pottery definitely dings up a little bit easier than other types of pottery, so you always have to be careful of chips and cracks. I think this might be like a toothbrush holder, maybe? $5.49. It's definitely like a decent price. It's definitely kind of cute. Ooh, I have a hard time picking up purple stuff. It's just not my color. But I know, like, obviously I'm selling it to someone who likes purple. But yeah, $5.49 is a pretty good price. This is a really cool bowl. Love the painted detail. Okay, so it's definitely like newer, modern, maybe something that would have been sold in the world market currently. So I'll probably pass on it. So this may be the cutest lidded pot I have ever come across at a thrift store. It is absolutely adorable. Love the glazing. Now, how much is it? Ooh, $5.99. I'd have to get all that stuff off on the bottom, I think. Usually lidded pots just don't sell as well, so I don't know. I mean, it's so cute, but it's also not a great seller, but maybe this one would do well. So I just peeled it back, and someone definitely loved and used this a lot, and I just don't know if all of that could get clean. Oh, the price is really good though at $5.99. Man, oh, it's just so cute. Even as a display piece in a kitchen, it would be adorable. So I like this handmade set, but it's definitely kind of awkward to hold in a small size, and I feel like that in the center would just never stay clean. It does come with a tray and 3 other glasses. I'll probably pass on it because because I feel like it's just not as functional as it is just like more designy, but it's a really cool set. Now these are candelabras. Holy cow, look at how big that is. And it comes with this one too. Man, imagine if that was brass. I would lose it. Look at these candy canes. They're huge and plastic. They're only $7.49. I think they probably lit up at one point, maybe. But just as like decor pieces, like on your porch, they don't even have to light up. So it looks like someone went through their cart here. They picked up a bunch of cute stuff, and now it's like a lovely curated collection of items right here. This pillow reminds me of those velvet paintings or artwork that people did. It was always on black with the bright colors. I never picked them up because I feel like there's not many buyers for it, but I wonder if people would want these pillows. They're $4.99. I'm not gonna pick them up because they're a little outside of what I tend to pick up, but they're really, really well made. I'm so sad. This is the fullest I have seen the art aisle in a very long time, and there's literally nothing good in the aisle to pick up. And you guys know art is my favorite. So there's actually a few of these throughout the store, but they're all $20 a piece, which seems so expensive. So I was kind of digging this tire until I realized it was $19.99. Is that not insane? Like, that's insane for this, right? You guys know I have an eye for any sort of metal, and this is a metal dog. I don't know if it's particularly old. It's not like your standard brass, but people love dogs. It's only $6.99 and it's really well made, so I think I'm gonna get it. OMG, a cute little hand, one I've never seen before, $4.99. Wow, I love that it's laying flat like that. That's so unique. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to get this guy for my collection. More religious stuff. Okay, so crucifixes are something that sells well in my booth space, especially if they're priced right. This one is $3.99. I wouldn't mark it up very high, maybe like 24 bucks. It's just one of those pieces that just always has a buyer, especially the mid-century ones like this. This pig, oh my goodness, it's handmade. Oh, he even has his cork. So it's piggy bank, $5.99. The stoneware type of clay. It is very cute. I went to my vintage booth today and realized I have so much space to fill with that. So I feel like something like this, maybe I should just get it to fill the space because it is really, really cute. I'm always combing the bag aisles for candles, like colors that I don't have. Most of these aren't exciting. If they were swirly, definitely would get them. I think I may get this bag because it has a little dachshund, like one of those Japanese porcelain dachshunds in it, and also has that souvenir piece. God, I can't remember who made this, but I've actually seen it in person in Europe. So less excited about this, but definitely excited about this little guy. He's $3.99. So dachshund stuff, people love them. I've always loved them. I've had two in my life, so I think I'm gonna get it. So the shelves are finally filling out at the thrift stores because they've been so bare. Even the donation lines have been really, really long. Okay, so this is $3.99. This is a cool vase. I mean, it has some chips and stuff, but I feel like that's kind of part of its history. It has some very old wax. Looks like someone used it as a candle holder and not as a vase. Otherwise, I'm not sure what's inside there. So I think I'm gonna have to melt that out. But I'm gonna pick this guy up. A pretty studio pottery piece that is, $10. That's steep for this. Okay, I'll pass on this. This is kind of a pretty studio pottery piece. $6.99. It's heavy. It's definitely someone's like project piece because it's definitely a little wonky, but I really like the glazing. And then this is adorable because it's a mini vase. So for $2.99, I have a few people I know that collect mini pottery, so I'll probably pick this guy up. Now this is a well done piece. A little pitcher, or probably creamer, I guess, for $2.99, so good price as well. I just have a hard time selling creamers and pitchers for whatever reason. But this one I feel like, if you picked it up and it took a while, it wouldn't be a big deal because it's only $2.99. Oh, it's really cute. Also, how cute do these all look together? It's like they're part of a very similar collection. So I kind of am digging this really weird hand-built vase. It is $4.99. I like this little loop. I don't know if this would appeal to everybody. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's why it's here, because people are like, what is this thing? But the glaze on it, like, I wish this was on a pot. Okay, so we're back in my studio space, and I do have a bag full of stuff, but because that shopping footage was, what, 3 minutes long? Probably. I feel like you guys can remember what I picked up, and I don't need to recap it again. But I will say anything that's gonna be available on Etsy is usually linked down below in the description. So now I wanna shift gears and show you some pieces that I picked up that I did not have a chance to film. So I went to an antique mall, didn't do any filming because it was really quick in and out. Didn't really find much, but I did get these two paintings. So I got this really pretty winter scene, which I love because it's very right now in a lot of the US. I just love this scene because it can carry you through the holidays. It's not a holiday specific scene. It is a winter scene, which applies longer than your holiday decor. And then I also got this really pretty fall scene. Now, these are seasonal, and I debated on whether I should hold them back for next year, so next fall and next winter, but I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna list them now because I know people like to shop for holiday and seasonal decor kind of all the time, and so I thought, you know, someone might wanna pick these up for the future starting right now. And plus, I don't wanna store it necessarily in a bin and forget about it, and so I decided to list them. So these are available on Etsy, but I just love them so much. I thought they were really pretty, and even though we're, you know, out of this season and, you know, heading out of this one, I still thought they were worth picking up. So you guys know I love a fun candle. I love a fun vintage candle, and I went to one of my reselling friends' studio space, and I got to look around while I was there, and I got these awesome swirly candles from them. And they're called Jumbo Candle Gems, and these are very, very jumbo. So I was so excited to get these because I love a swirl candle, and I don't have any white swirl candles. All my white candles, well, actually, I should check my drawer. I'm making this bold statement. Okay, no, I'm lying. Okay, I lied. I do have a teeny swirl one, but compared, I mean, this is pretty amazing. This is, this is awesome. So I'm very excited about these. You guys know I do a lot of candle sets, like brass candle sets, and so I usually like to use like some, you know, fun candles in that because it just makes the photos pop that much more when you use like colorful, interesting candles versus just your standard white tapers. And if you're curious, like what am I doing off screen here? Because some of you are new, you may not know I have the most epic candle drawer, which I will show you on screen. I have candles of the entire rainbow, swirls, you name it, every size, because I sell a lot of candle stuff, not just the sets. I just, you know, candle holders or something, always a bestseller. People love candle anything. And so I have a really robust candle drawer that brings me so much joy. And anytime I do like a reel on Instagram showcasing the drawer, like breaks the internet because everyone's like, oh my gosh, candles. Like there's just so many beautiful, pretty ones. Anytime I go to an estate sale, I look for them, or, you know, if I go to a thrift store, I'm looking for them. But I would say that most of the candles that I've gotten, the really special ones, are usually from estate sales. And speaking of candles, I also got this very cool candle holder. It's a wall mounted one. I thought it was really interesting and sculptural. I just fell in love with it. We are getting ready to actually do some renovations in our home. Now, my husband and I were planning to do some of it ourselves. Are we handy? Absolutely not. So we're gonna cut our teeth on our powder room. So we're like, you know what? We're gonna try to replace the vanity, and we'll just see how we do. Which I know that sounds like, oh, that's so easy. Just pop one thing in, pop one thing out. It's a lot more involved than that based on how they did our bathroom. I will show you before and after when we do it. But I was thinking of like fun things to put in there in a gallery wall, and I thought this was like a cool piece. I mean, something like this would get lost in that because it's so petite, but in a small powder room, you know, this is the type of piece that, you know, would look fine in that space because the space is smaller. And that's one thing you want to think about when you're designing and decorating your home. Like, does the item meet the scale of the space? And so this is like something that definitely needs to be in a smaller, more petite positioning to really shine. So yeah, I was really excited about this, and this is actually for me. And then I got something silly to show you. So this is from Emily, one of my reselling friends. She knows that I collect Russian nesting dolls, Kakashi dolls, all the things. And so once she finds out someone collects something, she's always on the hunt for them. Similar to me, I love when I can find out what someone collects and I can find stuff for them to build their collection. Is this absolutely something I never knew I wanted? Yes, I adore this. And my son, I have not shown it to him because I know if I do, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's mine. This is mine now, right? And I'll be like, absolutely not. This is for me. So yeah, I thought it was really cute. And I just kind of, I don't know, like obviously I'm not writing with it, so I gotta figure out where I'm gonna display it, but I just thought it was so cute and so thoughtful of her. Okay, so now I wanna talk about this painting. So you guys may remember I picked this up on my sourcing trip. It was only $20. Usually when I'm picking up art, I don't know who the artist is, largely because pieces are often unsigned, or if they are signed, you can't read the signature. And so it's really exciting for me to actually have a piece by an artist who actually has information on the internet. So this was painted by Juan Nakai. So he was a Native American watercolorist, and this doesn't actually seem like watercolor to me because it's so opaque, but it's definitely painted in his style because he loved the pastels and he loved painting the scenery where he lived in his community. And so this is actually Ship Rock is the name of the rock. And so it just was really fun to read about his life. But it actually was a very tragic life too. So on the one hand, it was lovely to read how prolific and beloved his work was, but his personal story was really, really sad. He was an alcoholic. So he sold his paintings to support his alcoholism. So it just was very sad, and he died tragically. So that part of the story really broke my heart, but the paintings that he did and how beloved he was and well known in his community, that part was really lovely to read. And so, so sometimes it's a mixed blessing to know the background behind a piece because you never know what life the artist lived. But this piece was definitely really, really beautiful. So I was so glad that I picked it up. Now, in terms of how much it's worth, so I was obviously, my intention is to sell this. And when I find a piece that actually could be valuable, I definitely get nervous because I'm not exactly sure how I should price it. So his watercolors unframed were going at the low level, like $200 and up. And then I saw some frame pieces for as much as $1,500, which seems crazy. I was blown away. So in terms of valuing this piece, I don't really know. So if you guys are resellers and sell art, and let me know what you do when you actually find a really well-known piece. And there's a wide range of pricing. How do you price it? Let me know. I would be curious because it's not often that I find valuable art by known artists. Usually I'm finding just really stunning old pieces of art, and then I can kind of value that based on the trend and the age and just how interesting it is. I feel like that's easier for me to value than something like this that is actually known and someone can look up. And so anyways, I need help on this. So if any art, dealers, sellers out there, let me know how you would price something like this. And speaking of art, I wanted to show you where I hung that nude painting. So I have a gallery wall that I am forming in my entryway. So the ceilings of my entryway are actually extremely tall. They're 2-story. And my intention is to really fill that whole wall. It's always been my dream to fill an entire wall to the ceiling of art. It's just something that I just have always aspired to do just because I love art. Obviously, art is my favorite thing to pick up. If you guys watch my channel, you know this, that I absolutely love art really above anything else, even above brass, even above wicker animals, which I know you guys are like, really? Because you love brass and you are obsessed with wicker animals. But no, art is my very favorite thing. So I'm really excited to kind of add to that space. So right now it's not completely balanced, the composition, because I'm going to be adding to it. And so my intention is to fill that up just as I go rather than go out and source a ton and then do it all at once. I love the fact that it's going to be a journey to the ceiling. Basically, I'll probably have to get out scaffolding or something in order to put the final pieces up. But my husband is very much on board. He's excited to have it up. And it's interesting because all the pieces prior to adding the nude and that other circle one, the room felt, even though it was high ceilings, the room still felt, 1 story. But as soon as I put those extra pieces up, then the room all of a sudden felt even taller. So I imagine once I fill the entire wall up, it's just that whole space will be a lot more almost cathedral-like tall versus how it is now. It's really weird how that perspective of a room can change based on the placement of art and what is at, eye level. I was really surprised and how much of a difference adding that second layer of art made in that space. Okay, so now we're gonna shift gears and talk about what sold in my Etsy shop this week. Let's talk about what sold in my Etsy shop this week. So this very old painting of a man with a pipe, probably a fisherman, that sold for $178. This cool Victorian mid-century painting sold for $115. This seascape painting sold for $48. This cool rosewood inlay Indian box sold for $58. This set of brass cranes, the mini brass cranes, sold for $58. And then each set of the owls, I decided to sell them in sets of 2. They sold for $48 each. Okay, so that is all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more decorating and thrifting content between my videos here on YouTube, make sure you check me out on Instagram. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Take care.